Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vertigo Gaming versus Goashax Algeria, or Goashax Algeria. I'm not really sure which one it is, but we'll just have to see which way it goes. Anyway, we'll go with Goashax for now, and if I'm told otherwise, then that's cool, I guess. Vertigo Gaming, though, their inaugural match as a team under the Vertigo banner in the ESEA Open season. Danish side trying to look to get themselves off to a nice start here on Overpass for the season, and already they have done so. TMS grabbing 2, a second for Plan, looking now to try and finish things up with the third, goes for the knife, he grabs it too. That is possibly the perfect start to a map of Overpass, the one that you could ever really ask for. That was very nice there from Vertigo Gaming. I just realised I got mic level settings problems. Just give me a second. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Hopefully I'm not peaking as high. I was told that a bit loud in my last cast. Anyway, Vertigo Gaming. An exciting new prospect, an exciting new organisation with an exciting new team. Looking to try and get things started quickly here in ESEA. They want to try and dispatch with Goashax Algeria almost as quickly as they possibly can. And so far, well, they're doing alright with that. First frag found here in round number 2. Of course, finding a very healthy start to the match with that 3k and knife from Plan, with a 2k from TMS as well. Nicely found. The T's, on the other hand, look a little bit more hesitant, considering as they didn't get a bomb plan in the first round. They have elected to go up with the force buy of Desert Eagles here, which will, unfortunately, unless they do get a plant in this round, not be able to afford them a buy in the next. So Vertigo here are going to be looking pretty happy with themselves if they're able to clean up this round with only MP9s as well. That would be rather nice to get a bit of cash in their pockets too. And so far, it looks like Azin and Puffin are going to do nicely with that one. Just one kill back from Waylu, who's managed to grab himself the MP9 and try and escape. But I'm afraid he'll find no more than that. And I'm sure that the Vertigo Gaming side are going to be reasonably happy with the fact that it is only the MP9 that goes down as well, not one of the M4s, because obviously that's a pretty painful reinvestment if you have to make it. TMS, Plan, and the rest of the gang are ready to go. They're ready to go up against what is ultimately a pretty laughable buy here from Goashax Algeria. I'm never really a fan of, if you lose the first round pistol, going straight into a force buy. The reason I say that is just because, I mean, even in the state where you just played this round out, you lost the round. Someone got a knife in the round, which is already more money than any gun can reap a reward to. So you've got yourself in a really nice position now already for Vertigo. And Goashax are like, yeah, you know what I'll do into that, where they're likely is not going to have M4s and things that can easily mow us down? Yeah, we'll just buy upgraded pistols and deagles and not really have anything to really fight that with. That's the kind of round thereafter where you concede. You just let it go 2-0, and then you get on a buy in the third round where you've got everything you could want. You've got the AKs, you've got all that business, and you can play that one up against what is inevitably going to be a slightly lesser equipped Vertigo Gaming side, whether they go for a bonus round or whether they go for a round where they kind of just don't have that sign of residual cash ready. As you can see, though, that extra round, that extra buffer that was given to them by the Goashax Algeria side has actually let them pretty much gobble up a really nice part of the economy so far. And you can see that they've got a lot of residual cash they're sitting on. And they've also just found a lot of residual kills in this round. 3 of them found. Goashax Algeria just completely punished. Pushed right back in towards the T-spawn entry point, towards where Fountain starts to open up. The question is, are they going to drop the ladder? What are they going to do? Well, a second smoke has been dropped by Puffin too. And this has really been quite a disastrous start here from Goashax Algeria. I mean, you're getting beaten to the punch on Fountain, which is a place that, as a T, you get almost inherent control of because you're there quicker. You're messing around with something, taking a lot of time to set something up, and in a way, giving away a lot of free map territory as well, without taking it anywhere else. The idea being, if you want to give up map position, and you want to give up map territory, like, let's say you want to leave Fountain this round, then you want to try and take map position elsewhere, whether that be out in towards the canals or Monster Tunnel, or even down in towards Connector. the problem here is that Goashax Algeria did none of those things and just walked into a kill box where they were really easily able to be mown down by Vertigo. Finally now, they're starting to get out, but they have taken pretty good losses in that exact exchange. Fatovic is actually going to be down to just 5 points of health as he trades lives with Puffin, basically. And with 8 seconds left in this round, there's really nothing that Goashax Algeria are going to be able to do outside of try and save and concede. But now, after the time is gone, it's going to be a free frag for Azin, and that means there'll be no money carried over for Fatovic. And he's got $450, which is, again, not a much. Goashax Algeria, I'm sorry to say it, guys, but you have been horrendously misplaying the first part of this map. It's really not been a good performance so far. Vertigo are really showing that they have the class here. So much so, I mean, a lot of the Vertigo players haven't even suffered a death yet. I mean, if you look down the board, Schmidt is not even found an engagement. Help him, poor guy. Of course, Waylu has still got one of those weapons tided over. He was still able to save that AK-47 from the previous round, but that is really going to be all they have. That's a nice flashbang underneath the stairs. Not something that they'll be able to see going under there, but something that they'll be flashbanged by, definitely, should a Goashax player be there. Unfortunately, none of them are waiting. A little bit of a drive-by. Fatovic gets tagged down and now gets finished off as Schmidt finds his first engagement. And now Azinji is just going to be kind of patrolling. And this is a really nice setup here from Vertigo. All they need to do here is just patrol. All they need to do is just hold position. I'm not a big fan of using that Molotov right away, but you are getting to a point in the round now where teams often would like to try and start executing. But you have this player here, TMS, on the crossfire, so that Molotov is in effect wasted, but that's only just a $400 mistake. In the end, TMS gets taken down, but there is the help from Plan, who cleans up the rest of the round. So TMS suffers his first death of the game as well, but still has $11,000 still to sit on. Recognises that there isn't really a great lot of resistance coming in from Goashax Algeria, especially with the fact that they've got 2 players on SMGs. So TMS can rather comfortably go for an SMG purchase in his own right. One thing that is interesting here is Maverick deciding to go for the SG, and also Waylu going for the UMP. 2 weapons which in recent times have been so horrendously out of the meta, it's actually kind of painful. But Maverick is looking to try and make this one work. A very shallow peek. An HE grenade just behind it. Smoke grenade trying to stow him away in the corner, but I'm afraid the MAC-10 running you down is just going to be a little bit too potent there for Azinji, and gives away a rather juvenile first blood, to be honest. Puffin is already taking reasonable damage too, but TMS on the flank with the MP9 has traded out his AWPer. I'll see if they can try and take flight. This is, again, okay, this is where Vertigo is starting to try to kind of bewilder me a little bit here. They're kind of playing a lot of these rounds in ways where they're feeling a little bit individualistic. You can see that Azinji was in a very alone position with no real way to trade off it, and the same was true with Puffin. But now when they've got themselves into the retake position, they've got a backbone here in Schmidt. He's in a very strong position to try and take at least 2 players with him, which he's done so successfully already, leaving Maverick now the final player remaining with nothing more and the SG. So they've stabilised the round, but the initial 2 frags were potentially avoidable. That one was definitely avoidable, and TMS was just getting a little too greedy for the frag there. In the end, 6-0 for Vertigo. They've got a lot of money in their back pockets. They can afford to make mistakes like that. The later it gets in the half, though, if they start losing, they will not be able to make mistakes like that, I'm afraid. Goashax, though, once again, trying to make something of a buy here. 3 AKs a Galil, and again, Maverick seems to be very well attached to this SG. Krieg obviously did get its nerf. It's still got that same one-tap potential that can find the heads briefly, but it doesn't quite have the same first bullet accuracy as it once used to, and it still also doesn't have the same kind of potency with regards to finding sprays. Spray transfer and all that kind of stuff was made a little bit more unruly. Still, AWP is invested here by Vertigo, something that Goashax are going to be quite a way off for some rounds to come unless they can steal Puffin's AWP. Speaking of stealing, that's another stolen frag there for Fatovic. He's got himself a very nice quick one on Azinji once again. The AWP did end up legging Maverick, but that won't deter him from going in towards this site at a breakneck pace now. A definitely does look to be the point of contact. Waylu is going to have to come up behind now with the bomb, bringing up the rear. And there seems to be no real urgency here from either of the two sides. It looks like Goashax have had to pump the brakes because they weren't particularly sure as to where the coordination was coming from. A nice flash from Schmidt to try and go down a shot for Puffin to try and find out of the bathrooms there. But unfortunately for him, no one is going to be there to receive it. And now you can see the indecision coming in here from Goashax. They're not sure now because they've stalled the brakes a little bit too long and given a little bit too much map position over to Vertigo. They've been able to reclaim that. And now they have to dart over towards B. It's still a 3 versus 3 though. They've done well to level the playing field quite a bit here. But now Plan, standing wide out in the open, doesn't seem to have much of a plan as to what he wants to do. But he's already done quite nicely at finding one frag. He's got one player on top of the site as the Krieg will grab the first frag in response from Goashax. Now Waylu going to be involved in a extended altercation with Plan here on the site. The real threat still comes from Maverick, but he's now been dealt with. Schmidt now comes to reinforce his teammate. Waylu could find a quick frag here over to the left-hand side and leave this in a 1 versus 1. He does do so and then gets away, but he's spotted on the retreat by Schmidt, who ends up clutching out the 1 versus 1 as he has the drop on Waylu and has the peak timing too. So, Vertigo Gaming will grab themselves round number 7. Their economy is still going to be okay. You can see that Schmidt has $1,600, still yet to die, 5-0. Can happily drop over an AWP for Puffin as well. Everyone should have ample cash to buy, but the same is still true for Goashax Algeria. They've got maximum loss bonus. They got a bomb plant in that round, and that usually is a recipe for a full buy in the current economic meta. So, Goashax going to be a little up against it here, and this is another one of these individualistic plays that I'm not really too big of a fan of here from Azanji. He's not going to be aware of the fact that there is going to be a player behind him almost any second emerging out of the playground, and that almost certainly will spell his fate pretty much signed and sealed here. If that player actually makes the decision to help his teammate. I don't know what's going on here. Goashax seems to not be communicating. You can see on your minimap that there's just one CT in a circle of Ts. And he's completely circumvented all of them. And he's even got in behind it. How has this happened? How is this allowed to happen? If I were Shu there, I would be screaming at my teammates. I would be absolutely writhing. Unforgivable how Medixon here has just kind of let this go by. He will end up trading the frag in the end, but this is still a 4 versus 2 now. This is still such a heavy advantage here for Vertigo Gaming. Goashax Algeria don't seem to have much in the way of like coordination here. They seem to kind of not be playing from, not singing from the same hymn sheet is probably what I use as the old adage at this moment in time. That smoke is, again, not fantastic, but it will do just enough to kind of make them think they're able to pass here. Vertigo have got one player sitting on the site, and it's Schmidt. He's going to be able to grab one, look for the second. He'll be good for that one too. Fantastic work from Schmidt once again. 7-0, looking to try and go for a flawless game of Counter-Strike right here, as he has $13,000 in the bank as well. And finally, I don't know who that pause time is coming out from. I'd hope it's coming out from Goashax. They definitely need some time to think and speak about what they're doing, and if I'm Shu, I'm going to be taking this time to scream the house down at Medixon, who kind of just was not aware of the fact that there was a player there, having the fact that that was probably also called out to him too. A little bit of a blunder, but it's not irreprehensible. It's not irretrievable. 8-0 means that Vertigo have already won the half. There's still 7 rounds still to play out here, and Goashax Algeria can definitely try and make something of this. Not all done yet. Early smoke down this time around as the Molotov is extinguished. The player has already crossed out. That's going to be a lovely first frag here for Azanji. Peeking just the right amount, making sure he's not overextended and that he can get away if the frag would eventually need to be traded, which is nice. I like that. And Puffin has also backed up from his aggressive position at the stairs to the fountain. He's gone back, found a player over aggressing in towards Picnic, and that's going to be a nice pick-off for him. Plan just continuing to be a very strong anchor in towards this B site. Oh, if only he could see a little bit further to his right, he'd be up for a double kill. In fact, it almost looked like that player was going to give it to him there for free. Schmidt now will rotate on round, as he's going to be aware of the fact there was a player there. But the door is open, and that will be the opportunity that Azanji and Puffin were both looking for. They've grabbed the 2 frags. 9-0 here. A flawless start. It couldn't possibly be any better for Vertigo here. They are head and shoulders above their competition. Already, it seems to be their default here for Goashax Algeria is very passive. They take control of one area of the map, and that area is the canal, which they're in right now, which Vertigo is currently inside of. They send one player delegated out towards the playground, and they just keep this kind of trend of just stalling out in the early to mid rounds. Quite potent, really. It keeps happening. I'm not really sure as to the reason why, whether they go down to construction or in connector, which is where they tend to try and take their positioning, take their early round previously. This time it's canals, and that hasn't really worked out. Finally, though, the AWP has been traded. Maveric's actually gone one better. He's found 2 frags, can't find the third, just can't land the shot with the AWP quickly enough. In the end, it is Plan and Schmidt to trade back 2 quick frags, leaving the advantage firmly planted back in Vertigo's favour. Goashax Algeria will be able to get one back with the assistance of Fatihovic. That's nice. Shu is also going to be here now inside the site. It's going to be on Schmidt, though. He can get a 2-man spray down right here, and he will do so. 10-0 now, replicating the scoreline in his own scoreline. A beautiful start, and Vertigo Gaming continue to knock back Goashax Algeria every single round that they play. The problem here is, obviously, with full loss bonus, every round is pretty much going to be a gun round. Oh, and a quick pause comes in. They want to talk about this even more. It looks like they've had a player disconnection for whatever reason. Not too sure as that one right now. Maybe just a reset of the game or something. Struggling with some kind of issue. Still unaware of what the issue is. I guess, though, it's not something that I'm going to be able to easily find out to communicate to you guys, but hopefully they get their player back in soon before the timeout ends. We can at least have a competitive match. I say competitive match, knowing full well that so far this has been far from competitive. Goashax Algeria have really not decided to actually show up today. Vertigo Gaming, on the other hand, have done so tenfold. Marco is now joining instead. Wailu. Whatever the issue is, he's now reinstated in the server. Freeze time has been cancelled. Wailu should be able to get his buy back up. Which is going to be, of course, that Galil. Same setup as the previous round. Looks like we're good to go here with round number 11. Molotov, as usual, going straight over from Puffin to try and deny any quick access, but the smoke grenade from Goashax Algeria is there to counter. And finally, They have grown wise to the ever-changing strategy of Vertigo. It hasn't really changed that much, I'm being sarcastic, but there is a flashbang, and there is 2 players out of a smoke. That is a nice little trade, though, back from Medicson, but TMS doesn't matter. He's grabbed the 2. And Bomb also dropped back there as well. Schmidt will continue his flawless streak as he grabs another. Stewie flash out of the window. Doesn't grab anything, really. There's no one there to receive it. I'm also not totally sure that Vertigo would have been aware that the bomb was dropped there. I'm not sure that's something that they would have seen. So they still might be a little bit concerned as to where this bomb is going to be going. For the time being, looks like they're going to be playing a pretty passive hold on this. It is going to be coming in towards B. Vertigo are now going to be soon to be aware of that at the very least. They're going to hear the footsteps. That's going to be the starting pistol for them to start peeking and rotating. You can see on the minimap already that one player who was up on A long is going to be making his way over. They're going to assume that's the sole B player, but now they've spotted another one out towards ABC. That's Schmidt. He's going to get that Molotov down rather nicely. Force a player out into the open. That's a lovely head to take, and now looks for the second. His teammate in Puffin comes in from construction with the AWP, and that's another round cleaned up, and a 12th frag for Schmidt without dying. He's on a 12 streak, 12 rounds in a row. 11 rounds in a row, sorry. Schmidt doing a really good run of things here. Goashax Algeria once again with that bomb plant. Full loss bonus will still have perfectly amicable buy. And I like this change that Valve implemented with the economy. It makes a lot of these games where teams running away with it at least have the opportunity to be more competitive. It seems at the moment, though, that Goashax Algeria aren't really too concerned about that. They can't even decide which one of their players wants to be the delegated bomb carrier. Wailu goes to drop it, and then immediately has to pick it up once again. It just seems there's so much about this team that is just a little bit discombobulated, really. Don't really seem like they're on the same page. One player very aggressive up towards construction, who's found one. Unfortunately, can't double down on that. Maverick this time around is dealt with. Azanji has also managed to grab himself a player inside of the connector, as he's been doing so rather consistently. Wailu now finally, after taking a quick disconnection, comes back very strong. He grabs 2, and now finally the first advantage that Goashax Algeria have actually been able to assign themselves has now been twisted back into, oh my god, just like that. It's a 2 versus 1. Vertigo Gaming, and the bomb has dropped all the way. Wailu has to do everything himself. He picked up the bomb, dropped it, got 2 frags to enter into the site, and now he has to go back for the bomb, plant it, and now try and clutch the 1 versus 2. What a poor time here for Wailu. Goashax Algeria. Feel bad for him. He had to do all the dirty work himself this round. Now Vertigo Gaming are looking to try and put this up to 12. Schmidt has unfortunately suffered his first death. Pepe hands on that one, but that won't be Pepe hands for this one. Vertigo Gaming grab themselves their 12th consecutive rounds. 12-0. Goashax Algeria get out-clutched in a 2 versus 3. The only time they have themselves an advantage is the only time that they can still manage to find a way to throw the round away rather comfortably. And Vertigo are looking really comfy. Puffin this time around is not electing to go for anything all that aggressive. It's instead been delegated that his teammate Azanji should do so. They're going to give up the connector position this time around as well, because they know that there's already quite a heavy lean in towards the B site. Canals has already been a point of contention. Grenades and fire has been exchanged, but the majority of the damage has been done to the Algerians on Goashax. They suffered too much already, and that's a very over-aggressive peak coming in there from Plan. He's going to have a lot to contend with around this corner. He's grabbed one already, and his teammate in Schmidt is there to help him out. In fact, his teammate in Schmidt is there to help him out twice, with Azanji grabbing another in the same position as Puffin was able to find one last round to level the playing field to a 2 versus 2. And just like that, after finding the inaugural frag of the round, Goashax Algeria just have no response for what comes next. They seem to just stall out when it gets to the mid-round. If they don't play fast, they don't play at all. And right now, it's looking like they're not playing at all. Accumulatively, sorry, across all players, obviously not accounting for the disconnection kills that Wailu may have found beforehand. it is looking pretty dire. Have, like, I think, quick maths, there was about 18 kills across all 5 players. And you can see now, that without the last couple of rounds of bomb plants, that this economy is starting to look a little bit shakier now. At this point, if I'm Vertigo, playing for the 16-0, and if I'm Goashax, I'm looking to not get 16-0'd, really. I'm looking to just get 1 round. Around the corner comes the swing. The CTs should have a nice little 2k right there for plan. Asenji was taken down in the connector position, and there goes the Stewie flash once again, but tucked away. Pokes his head up a little bit too quickly. Schmidt, good for the trade, though. And that's the difference right there between what Goashax Algeria have been showing and what Vertigo Gaming have been showing. It's the trades, it's the teamwork, it's the cohesion. You can see that as soon as he went to tuck himself in that position for plan, Schmidt, well, he was ready. He was like, okay, I know you're going to get swung on at some point. We know there's players inside a connector. Let me come and help you. I'll be ready for the flashbang to come out of the Stewie window, and then we'll try it again. And Schmidt is there for the trade. At that point, maintains the man advantage. And now it's 2 versus 1 with 20 seconds left. Wailu, once again, has to clutch. Got 19 HP. Bomb is in hand, but he's going to be very quickly picked off by this AWP. He's going to try and fire through the box. He's going to go for a pretty ballsy peek. I don't suppose he was really having too many more options, though. And Vertigo Gaming get themselves up to 14. Looking for the flawless half here. And, well, if the last 14 rounds are anything to go by, Vertigo Gaming are going to grab it. Should get the flawless half. Same set smoke that goes in every single time to combat the Molotov. And you see, the thing is, they're using all these smokes early. The idea must really be, because they want to go aggressive onto all these sites, but they're met in equal measure by the aggression. It's just too easy for Vertigo right now. They've found 15 consecutive rounds. They've got themselves match point, and they only have to win the pistol here in the second half. Goashax will be looking to try and grab themselves at least 1 round here, because really, they haven't come up to play at all. This is looking pretty dire. Also, Mikey, if you're watching, I'm pretty sure you'd have been the one to make the stream title. How long has my @ had an underscore in it? Goashax Algeria can't even hit a player standing still. Oh, the jokes just write themselves, don't they, really? How unfortunate. Here we go anyway. The fateful round. Doesn't have an underscore in it, bro. Come on. The fateful round. Goashax Algeria. Looking to try and grab themselves 1 round. Oh, spoilers in chat from Plant. Vertigo Gaming. Looking to finish this one up 16-0. Well, they're already showing a little bit better of a T-side approach than any of the 15 rounds that Goashax were able to put together. They found the first blood already, which is something that Goashax were able to do at least a couple of times. Now finally a response here from Shu. Shu gets another. Okay, maybe there's something, there's life in the old dog yet, as they say. But it is on Vertigo. They've got themselves a 3rd frag and a 4th, leaving it just on Wailu. 1 versus 3, and it looks like it is increasingly likely it will be the 16-0 as Goashax Algeria put up absolutely no signs of a fight whatsoever. Vertigo take their inaugural match of the ESEA season 16-0. That is a lovely start. I think you would agree. I'm pretty sure most of the time you'll be taking those. I would put my camera on, but the lighting in my room right now is terrible. I know that is something that's available here, but hey ho, not doing it. Maybe next time. Actually, John, just for Mikey. Hey guys. But that is the end of that. That is a 16-0 to start off the ESEA season there for Vertigo Gaming. You're here on their Twitch channel, so the only thing that I can assume would be that you support them. So, thank you very much for watching, and of course, congratulations to Vertigo. A brilliant start to their season, their inaugural season in ESEA. They've done fantastically, and there's not really much more to say than that. Well, join me tomorrow, I believe it is, as Vertigo will have another match, I believe, at the same time. So, thank you guys, as always, very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to cast for Vertigo today. Hopefully, many more of these broadcasts will come in the future. Thank you to Finn for letting me do so. Hiring me for the project. I appreciate it, and hopefully we get to see many more victories for Vertigo in the season to come. Commiserations to Goashax. They've got plenty more matches still to play. See you later on, fellas.